Hi, greetings and welcome fellow YouTubers out there. This week we're going to be talking about two new updates that have come out, which are The Persistence and Detached. So please stay tuned for these coming up on this week's weekly updates. Hi, greetings and welcome fellow YouTubers out there. Firstly, the apologies. Sorry I didn't get to do any live streams last week or even a weekly update. But it was just so blinking hot out there. So hot. I mean, in case you guys didn't notice, here in Britain we're having like a first heat wave. I mean, temperature were going up into like 34 degrees Celsius. It was even room to go even higher than that, and wearing the headsets, it was just sweltering. I found that every time that I would put on one of the headsets, I just felt like I had to take it off shortly thereafterwards because it was either steaming up or sweltering buckets. So therefore, unfortunately, I couldn't actually sorry, just put that down there. So unfortunately, I couldn't really do much in a way of live streams at that time, because I was just so out of it, and I really needed to take kind of a little break whilst it was so hot. In fact, it actually got so hot that here in England they almost called it a state of an emergency, and there was like telling people to not go out, stay out of the sun between the hours of midday and 3 o'clock. Some people like to say, nanny state, we're all in for it because we've got just. But hey ho, we managed to survive the heat wave this year. Yeah, I always survive because I always every day I kind of dip my t-shirt into the bathtub before I leave, and so therefore I go out wearing soaking wet clothing underneath my full suit. So people ask me, why the heck am I wearing like a full suit, black suit? Don't you like sweltering? I said no, because it feels like I'm wearing a bath on myself when I go out. But yeah, people think I'm crazy when I do things like that. But you're the one that's hot, not me. So who's the crazy one out of that? Possibly me. Yeah. So in the weeks, we heard that I got from Sci-Fi London or SciShow on the internet, that they discovered water on Mars. So that was a Hail Mary and hey yeah, water on Mars. I don't know if the video was like a couple of years old, because I'm sure I saw that report before, but discovering water on Mars is a massive thing. For people think that as they discover water on Mars, it's possibly that they could discover life on Mars, despite the fact that the water is very sludgy, very salty and very sludgy, and possibly couldn't sustain anything like that. But here in the world of gaming, we had two great games that dropped on our stores this week. Two great games that dropped on their stores that everyone seems to be shouting about and playing and enjoying. And those games are The Persistence and also Detached. Okay, now first off, let's talk about The Persistence. This game, you will die. A lot. And again, and again, and again. But one of the good things about this, it's sort of like, I consider it like Dark Souls VR in space. Because each time you die, you get sent to the regeneration center where you can increase and boost yourself up. So there is a penalty of death where the map resets itself each time. But you can increase yourself, your status, by grinding stem cells to be able to upgrade your character for strength, health, and other sorts of boosts. But also at the same time, whilst you're going through the game, the levels, you can also increase stats to things like weapons that you buy, such as if you find the swarm grenade, if you purchase points on the swarm grenade so that you can start purchasing them from vendor machines, you can upgrade the swarm grenade so you get more and more grenades that you can use. Or for instance, the sentry pistol, if you upgrade the sentry pistol, you can get more and more bullets for those. So the persistence is good in that aspect, where it does allow you to upgrade yourself, upgrade your character through death, which is always really quite good as an RPG style game to allow you to level up. Although it's not really an RPG game, I don't even really consider this game a shooter, because it's not really a game where you just go around shooting monsters. It's more of a survival horror style game. Now each weapon you get, let's just say if it's like the swarm grenade, the baton, the pistols, or the teleporter frag, whatever weapon you decide to use, you can use it in its own unique way. And it's not a way that allows you to go around killing everything in sight. There is a structure to how you can use each weapon. There is a method that you have to work out, and also a situation that it can be used in. For instance, let's just say you see a room where you've just got one guard there. One guard, he's got his back turned to you. You can stealthily go up behind him and take him out from behind with the stem cell extractor to get full 100 stem cells from him, which is great. Later on you can boost up your ability so that you can get more stem cells when harvesting from people like this, so you can get more and more power-ups. However, let's just say you go into a room where there's like 3 guards and a robot that's wandering around. You can either, like, say if you had the pistols, you can go up to like the top levels, and you can like try and see if you can snipe them out one at a time. So if you had the sentry pistol, they are very powerful and quite loud, so you can headshot each one of the 3 people in one kill. However, if you miss the head, you have to shoot the body. It will take 2 or 3 hits for them to kill. So you start using up your ammo. And like I said, the very first pistol, before it's upgraded, only has like about 6 bullets, I think. So the bullets are very limited. As you upgrade it, you get more and more bullets, so therefore you can use them more sparingly. However, the different types of guns that you got, let's say you had the needle, it is a rapid fire gun that comes up with something like 60 bullets, but it will take about 40 bullets, 20 bullets just to kill one person. So without any misses, that is. So therefore 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, so therefore you can kill approximately about 3 people with that one gun. Not to mention things like robots, which will have more higher durability. And also, let's just say if you had the swarm hand grenade, it will create a swarm of robots that do very little damage, but will constantly shoot at anything that comes in its range. So therefore, it will eventually take out anyone that comes into its range. So let's just say, so at one point, when I was trying to go for like this massive loot crate, the alarms went off, and I was just like respawn after respawn after respawn. This is one of the very high risk areas, because of you can't really just blitz your way for everything. You can't just like get like a machine gun and just mow everyone down, because that's not how this game is played. You got to work with the weapon you have. If you had the telefrag, you can possibly take out one person. If you had the as I said, if you had the baton, you could possibly take out 6 people, because each hit will reduce itself down by 1 at a melee range, but it will take on damage, and therefore it will break after 6 hits. so therefore you have to be very careful. And when a swarm of enemies come at you, what weapon do you use? Do you get the pistol and start firing it off at people and hope you can get perfect headshots with every single one? Or my little strategy was, if I dropped down 3 of the swarm grenades, because I had the swarm grenades hyped up a little bit, I dropped down like several swarm grenades, so that took care of pretty much most of the people that wandered in its area. However, because of the low damage that they did, they would still chase after me, and I had to like run like mad to make sure I didn't get hit. Run long enough for the swarm grenades to do their jobs and kill off the people that needs to be killed. So if I'd rethought that strategy, I probably would have dropped a couple of swarm grenades, then equipped myself with a baton so that anyone that got near me I can just whack out. However, as I progressed and I got a little bit more into the game, and I discovered different methods of using things and upgraded my skills and stats, I used a berserk when the alarms went off and the people started swarming at me. I used a berserker injection, which allowed me to, which was about 12 seconds of complete power up, like berserk mode from Doom, so that anyone that came near me, I just swatted for 12 seconds. Like, you bite down, bum, 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 just killed everyone within reach. Within about 12 seconds, and when that ran out, I then reverted to the pistol and then just started killing each one off one at a time. And I was actually surprised that I got through that little scenario quite easily once you start working out how to get through these sort of things. But yes, this game isn't a shooter. It is designed to test your knowledge, to test your coping skills, your adaptability to the situation around you, and with the tools that you've got, because the tools might not always work ideally to the situation you have, but it's the tools that you've got and you've got to use them. So therefore, Persistence is a really good game. It makes you think. It makes you try and figure out how to go through these. It is a procedurally generated game, so that each time that you die, the maps will constantly change. And I even like the fact that they pointed that out. So why does the map change? Oh, it's because some nano probes are malfunctioning, therefore they like to redesign things every now and again. I thought that was a little bit funny, just to explain why everything changes, but it's so that you don't get comfortable with the layout, so you're not trying to figure out the best way of doing this over and over and over again until you finally beat it. It says, no, you think you know how it is. We're going to change all of that now and give you something completely different. Then you've got to try and work it all out from scratch each and every single time. Now there is a hard mode, a very hard mode on here, that will only allow you to die, I think, about 10 times before it is game over. But in the standard modes, you can die as many times as you want, so you can keep coming back, keep upgrading. And even if you don't die, and you just find a random schematic and you want to upgrade the schematic, you can quickly pop back to the recovery center, but when you come back out of the recovery center, the map will change again. So you don't have to die, you just have to go back to the start. This game is a really great game, and I am surprised at that, because I didn't think that I was going to like this at first, considering that when I like to play shooters, I like ammo, I like shotguns, I like machine guns, I like to go in all guns blazing and destroy everything, and you can't do that with what you've got here. You have to whip work and think about what you got. But considering that this game takes that sort of style of play, and it owns it, and it is really good with what it does. It puts in a great atmosphere. The graphics on this is superb, and I can't say that I've seen many glitches in here, but the sound effects, the horror, that the survival instincts, the way that you're crouching behind objects to see people coming backwards and forwards, the way you're hiding around, it certainly does put a great atmosphere for the player to play through. And I really give this game a good 2 thumbs up, and I definitely recommend it for anyone who wants to try it. I give it a good, I don't really like doing these scoring systems because I probably like to say 7 out of 10 this time and 8 out of 10 that time. But I would give it like a 7 out of 10 because it is so damn hard. You really, you will have, it is a grind fest. Some of you people might not like how grindy these games are, because it took me several hours just to get to the first main goal of the first level, and I haven't even gotten to the second level yet. But it takes hours and hours and hours of grinding to level up to make sure you've got a decent, good, strong character. Stop. Sorry, my camera keeps on blurring out. I wish I can stop it from doing that. Maybe I need a new camera. Well, this is a new camera, but it keeps blurring. Ooh, right, okay. Next game we have is Detached. Now this Detached, I was really looking forward to this game because it's like a space, a nice relaxing spacewalk where Persistence, you're running, hiding, fleeing from your lives and shoot fest. It is an action game, Persistence. Detached is going to be the total reverse of that. It's a puzzle style game in its own element, but you have to take a step back a little bit from the action and you relax and you just have to drift out in open space. Now at one point when I was just like moving from like one location to the other, I just boosted my jet to go into that direction, and I couldn't really do much for a good several minutes except for just enjoy the atmosphere, just look around. Although I must admit at that time I didn't realise my suit had a boost features in it, because it doesn't really tell you how to play the game much. You have to kind of work it out yourself. I'm sure that there's a point that's supposed to say you've got a shield, press this for a shield or press this for boost, but I must have missed that because I didn't see anything like that come up at all. But then again, I think I did kind of just breeze through the tutorial, although the tutorial kept on trying to come back over and over again, which was a little bit of annoyance. Now when you go around the area first, I highly recommend not gathering up every single bit of fuel and oxygen that you find just because you've just used up a tiny little bit, because the way it is designed is you will go over the same area over and over and over again, and if you use up like the oxygen in that area just because you just saw a small little gap on your oxygen meter, then you will find that there will be a time when you really need oxygen and there is nothing left there, and the game saves every time that you go in and out of a building, and there's no way of getting that oxygen back. So if you like move out of a building just when you've got like a couple of seconds of oxygen left, you're gonna die and you're gonna need to restart the entire game all over from scratch. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think this game, unless there is more outside of the area that I'm currently playing, I kind of guess there is, because I don't think that I completed this properly yet. Sorry, I don't think that I've completed this game properly, because I saw that there are like 5 different tasks to do, 4 or 5 different tasks. I completed like 3 of them, and then I died through lack of oxygen. And I didn't really want to go play through the entire game again just to get to those other 2 areas, because it felt like it was on such a slow pace. And yeah, it was a sort of a chill out game, but a chill out game where there are stakes. Like I said, there was the the fuel consumption, and also at the same time there was the oxygen consumption. Now when I ran out of fuel, I didn't really notice any problems. I mean, I could still use the jets to jet around. Maybe if I kept on using it too much, then I probably wouldn't notice some other problems, but I could still use the jets even after my fuel ran out. But when the oxygen ran out, that was it. It was game over, and you had to start from the beginning, because I just couldn't find any other fuel around to survive or to continue. But yeah, there are quite a few puzzles in this game. If you can work out the puzzles, if you can play through the game, and you do it at a nice relaxing pace where you can just sit back, relax, and look at the rings of Saturn as you gently float past them, it's nice. It is relaxing. It's chilled out. And I certainly recommend this if you just want like a nice little spacewalk, chill out game. It really was quite a pleasure to play. So another game this week, we are 2 for 2. 2 for 2, definitely recommend. And very much enjoyable. Okay, last thing I just wanted to talk about is at the end of last week, even though we didn't really do much in the way of last week, I did manage to finish up playing Alone Together. Previously, before then, we did manage to get through about 60% of the game, but because it took us so long to get through there, we had to stop it at that point. And now we have just finished a complete 100% walkthrough of Alone Together. So if any of you guys want to watch the complete walkthrough for that, I'll put the links down to part 1 and part 2 down in the description. Alone Together, as I said in my previous review of it, it is a great game. It has got a lot of bugs in it, a lot of bugs, a lot of problems. But despite that, you can, once you get to know the level, you can easily restart the level over again and just quickly run through it. It's just figuring out the levels in each case is the tricky and hard part. But as I say, once you've got the run through of it, quite quick, quite easy to do. So yeah, Alone Together is what I call a Moss style game. Well, the reason we say Moss style game is because when Moss came out, it was the first one that used that sort of design layout. I think it's the first one that used that sort of design layout, but it worked so well when we played it on Moss that other games have tried to adapt and copy its success. Just as Minecraft did with its success, everyone tried to copy it, but there would always be the original Minecraft. Everyone would always love the original Minecraft. And as I said, Alone Together is what Moss did in this genre. It is a great game, one I certainly recommend. Despite the bugs, as long as you like the quests, sorry, as long as you like the puzzles, the puzzle elements, and trying to figure out each room, each level, I'm sure that you would really get to like this game. That's not what we're saying. Okay, I think that's it for this week. My throat is getting very dry and sore, and I am going to need a drink any moments now. Hopefully next time I really do need to sort of give a bit of shave here, because I am very yetifying at the moment, so I get a big beard, lots of grey on my beard, so I might have to try and see if I can trim this lot down, put my hair back. See if I can adjust my appearance. So if next week you see a shaved monkey here instead of me, then don't fret, it's just me after cleaning up a little bit. Sorry, I did say my throat is getting a little bit dry. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed creating this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. There are plenty of things that we're going to be doing out. I do have more plans for Dino Diners. I'm getting another Dino Diner ready. There are some music videos that I've got in mind that I want to do. There's still quite a few graphic videos that I want to make, graphic animations. and I see we are getting closer to the 200 milestones. So if we get to the 200 subscriber milestones, I'm going to have to create another animation to another milestone animation like I did for the 100 subscribers. So I wonder what I could do for that. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this, because when I did the video for the 100 subscriber milestone, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to create that. But I really enjoyed creating those sort of things, and I hope that I can figure out something that I'd like to do for the 200 subscriber milestone. So please help me get to that 200 subscriber mark. Please let me, so that I can create my next milestone animation video for you guys. So as I said, thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out there.